Welcome to Sissy Fashion. In this video, you're going to learn how to make this beret over here. If this is what you're interested in, please kindly hit on the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell as we move into the video. To start with, ensure that all your materials and equipment are ready, and you're going to start from drafting. So I have my pattern paper here and it is more than 12 by 12 inches. So ensure that it is more than 12 by 12 or equals to 12 by 12. So go ahead and fold it into 2 and into 4 as you have seen. That's where I'm going to start my drafting. We're just going to mark the circumference of 6 inches in radius all around the paper, just as you would do in any full circle. Remember, we are trying to mark the full circle of radius 6 inches, so that's what I'm marking around the paper. After marking, I've gone ahead to connect my markings together, and this is what I have. So I'll go ahead and cut it off, just as you can see. Then after cutting, all I need to do is to bring my fabric, 2 pieces of it. Remember, the fabric should be up to 12 by 12 also. Then I place it on it and I'm going to trim out the circle, just as you can see. So here with me, I have my 2 pieces of circle with the main material, and I'm going to keep that aside and move over to the next one. The next one is going to be my wording. So I have my wording ready, and any of the material you're using, make sure that it is up to 12 by 12 inches. Now I'm going to cut out the same thing on the wording. So the wording is just going to be 2 pieces, just as it is in the other material. In fact, everything that I'm using, both the wording and everything, will be 2 pieces. So here I am with my 2 pieces, and I'll repeat the same thing with my lining fabric. So I'm done cutting on the lining fabric, and everything is 2 pieces. At this point, I'm going to separate them into 2 groups, each group containing 1 piece of main fabric, 1 piece of lining fabric, and 1 piece of wording. On the first group, I'm going to do some adjustments here. So I'm picking up the pattern again, folding it back the way I did. I'm going to take my round head measurement, that's round head circumference, and then find the radius for it, and after which I'm going to mark it out. So at this point, I have my radius to be 3.6 inches, where my round head is 23 inches. So I'll mark it out like this and then smoothing it out. So I will add 0.5 inch round, just as you can see. After marking the 0.5 inch, I'm going to smoothen it and cut it out just at that 0.5 inch. I'll go ahead and cut it off. Then after cutting it off, what I'm going to do is to place this pattern on this group, this particular group that I circle out, and then cut out the same shape. On the main fabric, on the wording, and on the lining fabric, I'm going to bring out this shape. So after that, this is what I have. As you can see, I have it complete. I've brought out the same shape on the 3 panels. The next thing to do is to assemble it back. Now I have my one side of the circle is open and the other one is complete. So I'll put it like this, and on the main fabric, I'm going to use the steam iron to press the wording on the main fabric. The way it is, the one with the circle, I'll press it on the main circle and the other one on the other side too. After ironing it, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put this and this together, right side facing each other, just as you can see. Secure it with a pin and stitch it round, just as you can see, by 0.5 inches. And make sure while you are stitching that everything aligns. When you're done stitching, just go ahead and notch it round and do the same thing with your lining fabric. So at this point I have stitched down the both pieces together, so I'm going to turn it over like this and I will iron it. After ironing it, I'm going to now carry the lining fabric and insert right inside like this, just as you can see. Just put it right inside and then you go ahead and stitch it round. Meanwhile, I have already folded my bias. This is how I fold my bias. You don't fold it on grain line. You have to make it to be a bias form and cut it like 25 inches so as to be on the safe side when you are piping the beret. Remember, the 25 inches is so as to be able to pipe that beret, since the beret is about 23 inches at the round head. So this is how I did mine. I went ahead and folded in a bias form. Then after folding it, I am now going to make a hole just to pass my there's something that comes out at the head of the beret, so that's what I'm trying to pass through that hole. So just go ahead and make a hole, then you push this little stuff that I stick to my lining through that hole to form that little stuff that is always on the middle of the beret. I hope you're getting me. So that's not a big deal. This is optional though. If you don't want that to appear, there is no problem, but this is one of the signs that this cap is a beret. So after pushing in that, I went ahead to align the beret lining with the main fabric and I pin it up at the round head. Then I'll go ahead and stitch it down. As I stitch it round, that's just holding the lining and the main fabric together. Then after this, the next thing is to pipe it using that bias that I formed earlier to pipe round the round head of the beret. At this point, I am done stitching the both piece, that's both the lining fabric and the main fabric together, and it is now one. So after stitching it, the next thing is for me to go ahead and just go ahead and push in all the rough edges that you have into the piping bias, just as I've shown you. Then insert it into the machine and run a stitch on it. So you're just going to stitch around as you push in the rough edges and you close it up. Make sure that everything is properly tucked in. Then you go ahead and stitch around. At the start of it, you may not need to fold any of the bias, so you just go ahead and stitch around. When you get to the closing part of it, just go ahead and fold the bias. Make sure that you insert it well in such a way that it will appear very neat, and then close it up finally by stitching it and back tagging it. So at the end of the day, this is what we have. I hope you've learned something from it, and here our beret is ready. Please kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. Share this video to as many people as possible. I hope you like this. See you in my next video. Bye bye for now.